My name is Hjörtur and I'm going to tell you a little about this glacial lagoon here, Jökulsárlón á Breiðamerkursandi. First off, I'm going to tell you about this little ice cube here. This ice is, as you can see, really crystal clear and clean, and is about 1,000 years old. It has been washed here in the water for quite some time, probably broken off a bigger piece of ice. If you look there in the distance, you will see the glacier, Breiðamerkur Glacier, or in Icelandic, Breiðamerkurjökull. All the ice breaks off there and into the lagoon. For example, this piece there has broken off quite recently. This piece like this could take about 6 years to melt or break down into smaller pieces. But one like this can take up to 2 or 3 years. The smaller pieces, this ice will travel around the lagoon depends on the wind, and eventually they will travel the lagoon where the river is, pile up there, and travel to sea where they melt in about 2 months. Some of the ice actually dance around in the brim for the beaches and beaches. All right. Moving on. The ice sometimes goes up on the shore on the beach, and it's really quite a spectacular sight. And I recommend taking, if you're not on a tight schedule, would recommend taking a walk down or drive there. It takes about 10 minutes walk and half minute drive. The ice, where the glacier is, we have a few years back discovered we have a big lake there, about 21 kilometers long, and there we discovered we have the deepest lake in Iceland. It's 300 meters deep. We don't have to look far to find the highest mountain in Iceland, but that's in the National Park of Skaftafell. If you were driving from Reykjavík into here, you just drove past that mountain. In a clear day you could see it, but I don't think you would see it today. But it's called Hvannadalshnúkur, and it's 2,110 meters high. Now, you maybe noticed that, I'm going to tell you about, I did forget that. In 1932, this whole area was actually covered in ice. The iceberg reached where the bridge is, and then the seawater started to melt the ice, and this lagoon came to existence. It's just growing bigger every year because the iceberg is retreating about 100 meters a year. So this lagoon is now today, it's about 25 square kilometers, and yeah, getting bigger and bigger. You may have noticed that some of the ice has different colors. We have the black color, which is sand and stones, and some volcanic ash. The ash comes from many different volcanic eruptions through the decades. We have a lot of volcanic activity here around around the area, and especially in the glacier itself. So and also a glacier called Eyjafjallajökull. You may have heard about that glacier. It bothered a lot of people 2 years ago, and we're still getting some ash blown over the area from time to time. So we're just lucky, not today. So yeah, lucky us. Water temperature here. Oh no, I'm going to explain the blue color first. You notice that some of the ice is blue. Blue color comes from when the ice flips over. Sometimes they flip over when they melt from under. Then it gets heavier on the top and they flip over, and then we get this crystal clear color, and we get the blue color from when the sun hits the water particles. The wavelength of colors. Okay, I've been doing this a lot today, so I'm just going to rewind a little. When the light hits the water particles, they absorb all color, all wavelengths, but the wavelength of the blue color, so it appears blue. But it's the same reason why the sky is blue. The water particles in the air, the light hits the water particles, and voila, blue color. The water temperature here is about 1 or 2 degrees warm or cold, depends on how you look at it. You won't survive for long in it, though. You could survive for 4 minutes before you would get hypothermia. Depends on the person. I would last pretty long. No, I'm just kidding. If it's a really small girl, like 1 minute. Okay. Even though the water is cold, got some animal life in it.
Test.
Were you laughing because you? No, okay.
We were saying testes too.
All right. Cool. All right, we're not gonna ship you. Okay, I guarantee you that. Even though it's cold, we have some animal life in it. We have some fish in it. We have the Arctic trout and herring, and some salmon, and we also got some seals. The last 2 trips we have seen some seals, but if you don't get a glimpse of them now, your best shot would be where the bridge is, well, where the river goes down to the sea. What we're gonna do now? I'm gonna break this ice up for you, and I'm gonna offer you to have a little taste of it if you like. Before we do that, you can take pictures with it. You can hold it yourself if you want to.
No, we don't.
But first off, I'm gonna break a little chunk of it because people sometimes lick it and then the others don't want to have a taste of it. I learned my lesson. It's actually quite nice for drinks too, because the ice is really dense and compressed. So it's 10 times more dense than the ice in your fridge. So it would actually last really long in your glass, especially with whiskey and stuff like that. And drinks like that.
Did you bring some of that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's
I
not
brought
good.
some whiskey.
That would have made this the best boat trip.
Some whiskey. All right. You will get this chunk. Anyone?
Sure.
Oh yeah. Here you go.